Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everyone's doing really well out there. This is welcome to excuse me. Welcome to another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor. I'm the host, Tony Harvey. This is presented by Publicity Agents, and hope I'll say it once again. Hope everyone's doing really well out there on this Friday evening, April 19th, 2024. So let me get right down in it to it. Peace in. So the Sacramento Kings end their season tonight in the state of Louisiana. They fall to the New Orleans Pelicans, 105-98. And the closing of the play-in games. So, Sacramento Kings are eliminated from postseason competition, and the Pelicans will move on to the playoffs in that 8th spot. And they will face the Oklahoma City Thunder beginning this Sunday in the best of 7 series. Sacramento Kings lost 6 times to the Pelicans this season. 1 through 6. 1 through 6. 6 times. 6 times in one season. They could not beat these guys. And tonight, as we know, they did not have Zion Williamson, who was out with a hamstring injury. I think he's out for 2 weeks. But they did have Brandon Ingram, who had a really decent night tonight. Brandon Ingram had a decent night tonight, and so did his supporting cast. And I was kind of worried about that because someone else came in and stepped in to be a little bit of a hero for them, and that was Larry Nance Jr. And I was also worried about Jose Alvarado, what he would do to this team, do to the Kings, and what he's been doing all season. He did that too. But before I go any further, discuss this loss, because I know it will be discussed for the next few days, next few weeks, next few months, because it's off season right now, and this is one sport town professionally. So there's going to be a lot of discussions about where this organization is going, and it is going in the right direction. But please, Monty and Wes, no more run backs. And I'm pretty sure you feel the same way too. No more run backs. Because once Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk was out of the lineup, with those injuries, it was just not deep enough to sustain at a winnable pace, as we can see. A valiant effort tonight, no doubt about that. Okay, the Kings didn't fold in. I think New Orleans' largest leads with 20 points, but they fought all night. So I have to give them that. But they just didn't have the tools to beat this team. I mean, what De'Aaron had? De'Aaron had 35 points. Domantas Sabonis, he had 23 points. And HB had 17 points. And they were pretty much the bulk of what was happening as far as the activity on the offensive end. Keegan struggled a little bit, which, I didn't do really too bad, but he didn't do what he did the other night with those 32 points against the Golden State Warriors. We'll talk about him. He was 4 for 12 shooting. He had 11 points. And when I talk about did not have enough tools, the Kings only got 12 points from the bench. Okay, well, we know the starter was going to play some heavy minutes, but Keon Ellis, he didn't even score. I mean, he was 0 for 5 shooting from the floor, 0 for 4 3-point territory. He didn't even score in 27 minutes. And Trey Lyles, he didn't score in 13 minutes. And let's see, Alex Lynn did get out there for a few ticks, but he didn't score. Sasha Viskov, he did get on the floor. He only had 2 points, but there's only 12 points that came from the bench. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. Sacramento Kings. They end their season 46-36 for the 2023-2024 campaign. They will be going forward with some off-season questions. One thing they have to do is see what's going to happen with Malik Monk, because now officially he is a free agent. Well, as of, I believe, July 1st, he will be a free agent, and he can sign with any team that he wants for a high amount of money that he wants. He controls that. But I hope that they can work something out. Now, I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings, and I'm talking about Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox as far as seeing if they can keep him in this town. Keep him in the city of trees, where he is so beloved. And he can definitely help move forward with this direction with Mike Brown, the head coach, and his coaching staff. So that is one thing that they have to address during the off season. So we'll see what happens there. They have to bring in somebody else. As you can see, I don't know what the situation is going to be with Kevin Huerter. I'm quite sure that he will be able to start training camp on time, but they're going to have to bring somebody else in here to help this team move forward. Okay, 46-36 in the NBA Western Conference, 9th seed. A very tough conference right now. I understand that. Okay, I mean, look at New Orleans. New Orleans, won 49 games, and they were the 7th seed. 49 games. They almost won 50 games. So that's what we're dealing with right now. The competition that's going on in the NBA Western Conference. Some of these teams made a couple adjustments, improvement, specifically the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks, and those results are coming into fruition. Okay, it's pretty much enhanced what they were doing, and they all made the playoffs. So, no more run backs. No more run backs. This offseason, yes, as all off seasons are, the Kings will have to contemplate and consider a lot of things that's going forward. Because they got the right man. They got the right man to coach the team. I'm not even, okay? Team been well over 500 the past couple seasons. First season, they were 48-34. Okay, you got the right coach. He's taking this team in the right direction. But as far as personnel, we understand that's going to have to happen. That is going to have to happen. Because one thing we can hang our hats on, that defense improved, especially after the All-Star break. Everything that Mike Brown and his coaching staff was preaching was happening. Now, there might be a subtraction in terms of the coaching staff. And I am talking about Jordi Fernandez. He's moving on. Brooklyn Nets. So they're going to have to fill in that spot. But you still got a good core of people when they're working with them to make sure that defense is sustainable. Okay? And it not only is sustainable, it gets better. We've seen a lot of improvements in the second half. And I was seeing it from the beginning, it's just that they wasn't putting it together. Now they seem to have a grip on it. Okay? So Kings can't hang their hats on something that, was truly done. And that was the defense. Was this a successful season? Boy, I have some mixed emotions about that. But I am pleased the way they finished. And the reason with those mixed emotions, because they had won a couple of those bad losses, 2 or 3 of those bad losses that they had, during the season to those bad teams, we wouldn't even be sitting here talking about that. We'll be talking about who they're playing in the playoffs. So as far as success, right now I'm going to reserve that. I'm going to have to mull over that a little bit more in the past few days when I start looking more at their records and their stats, offensively and defensively, and try to assess, where they are. I'm not giving them a grade or anything, grade A, B, or nothing like that, just to see. I just can't really, say that it was successful season, but they got further than they have got. The organization have gotten a lot further than it has in the last couple of years. Because one thing that I can say, not making it to the postseason at all is better. Making it to the postseason, is better than not making it to the postseason at all. So I will have to say that. As far as watching this team for the last 22 seasons that I have been reporting on. So I appreciate that. But I still think that, there could be some better improvements and some better movement activities as far as personnel changes, going forward. So I'll just look at everything, and I probably won't report back on it until these exit interviews, with the administration. So that will be Monty McNair, and the head coach. That would be Mike Brown, and the players. So we'll make that assessment after we speak with them, and then get a little feedback about where they want to go as far as the future of this team. Okay, DeMontis and Fox were they did their part tonight. We knew that they would. They played a hell of a game tonight. They gave it their all, but it just wasn't their season as far as the playoff. It just was not their season. So when you lose to a team 6 times in one season, there's a problem. There's just flat out an issue. 6 times. 6 times. They done had your number. And they done did it with people in and out of their lineup. And they have did it with, some really quality reserves. And they have did it with their athleticism. They did it with their length, size. They did it. Some sharp shooting. CJ didn't have a good night tonight. He only made 7 points, but that wasn't the problem. That was not. He was not the. The Kings defended him well. They knew they had to keep him, under control because he's been killing them the last few games. But the bottom line, of course, has been different results each and every time. But you're seeing different other people stepping up and doing these type of things. Okay, with a player who had 40 points against the Lakers before he went out at the 3-minute, 13-second mark in the fourth quarter. And they lost that game to the Lakers, of course. 40 points he left on the board. But then this team come back. Brandon Ingram's have a much better game than he did, the first 2 since he was out for 12 games before that. And Trey Murphy, Jose Alvarado, and the other guy here, let me mention, Najee Marshall. Let me mention him. They stepped up. They stepped up. They stepped up. They stepped up. Of course, Jonas Valanciunas, he pretty much he can hold his own. He was playing against his best friend, his buddy, Domantas Sabonis. He had 19 points, 12 rebounds in 26 minutes, a couple blocks. They look good on paper and they look good on the court. Remember, they almost had 50 wins this year. So Okay, so yeah, Fox had 35 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 5 turnovers. Okay, that was all done in 42 minutes by him. He was 12 for 29 shooting from the floor, 4 for 16 behind the arc. Okay, 70-11, 7 for 11 on the free throw line. So they didn't really do so hot on the free throw line. I think they went there 22 times and they made at least 15 of them. So, but got to make those free throws. Anyway, Domantas Sabonis, 23 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 4 turnovers in 42 minutes. He was 9 for 14 shooting from the field. He took 1 shot in 3-point territory. He missed that. He misfired on that. And he was 5 for 5 shooting from the free throws line. Okay, as I mentioned before, HB Harrison Barnes, he had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover in 38 minutes. And let's see, he's shooting 6 for 14 from the floor. He made three three-pointers, and he was 2 for 4 shooting from the free throw line. He's usually a little percentage a little bit higher than that. Keegan Murray, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block in 37 minutes. He was 4 for 12 shooting from the floor, 2 for 7 in 3-point territory. He 1 for 2 for free throw. I think they mentioned this too before the game. I don't usually like to listen to national broadcasters analyzing the Kings or their opposing team before the game, but they did mention about they were talking about Keegan's performance against the Warriors, how hot he was, finishing up with those 32 points. But they also wondered, was he going to come back and back that up with another decent game? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I mean, the stats that he had sitting out in front of me are commendable, but I would not put a whole bunch of sauce on it as far as the main course, because he really just brought his lunch on this one. So 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He still got some work to do, but I'm still proud of him. I'm still proud of what he's did in his second season, because the majority of what was going on with him, he's a two-way player. I mean, they were putting him on the best offensive players on the opposing team, and he stepped up. I think, once Keon started playing more, that took a lot of pressure off Keegan, so he can do a little bit more work on the offensive end. So, but it's still going to be the same next season. Okay, you're still going to have to be doing what you were doing this year as far as defense, but you're just going to have to be able to manage it out. Manage your time on both ends of the floor, so you can be effective. It pretty much worked for De'Aaron Fox. Okay, all these steals and deflections that he was doing, and hey, Keegan can do it. Okay, Davion Mitchell closed out the season, had a great closeout as far as the season. 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist in 24 minutes. And like I said, Trey Lyles, 0 points. He did have 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers in 13 minutes. I forget how many shots that he didn't own. He probably took a couple shots. Keon Ellis, mentioned him, 0 for 5 shooting from the floor, 0 for 4 in 3-point territory. He did not go to the free throw line, of course. He did have 1 assist and 2 blocks in 27 minutes. And Sasha Vezenkov, as I mentioned, he came off the bench. He had 2 points. So there was only 12 points produced off the bench. Okay, the Kings shot 40% from the field. They were 36 for 68, 11 for 41 beyond the arc, and 15 for 22 at the free throw line, 68%. They had 15 turnovers. It was really wild. It was first half, with those turnovers. I mean, it was at one point both teams had, it was early on, had a total of 15 turnovers. So the Kings, they finished the game with 15 turnovers, 40 rebounds, and they had 14 offensive rebounds. So, yeah, okay. New Orleans, Brandon Ingram, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in 37 minutes. He was 10 for 20 shooting from the field. I think he made like 1 3-pointer. He also had 1 block. He was the man. He was the man. And once again, Jonas Valanciunas, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks in 26 minutes. Trey Murphy, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He had 5 assists in the first half. He's just really good at passing himself. And 43 minutes and 1 steal. And he's a defender. He was a defender. I think he was giving Keegan a lot of problems early on. And that's why Keegan couldn't really get off. So, they had that discussion about containing Keegan Murray after the performance that he had against the Golden State Warriors. So, yeah, Trey Murphy the third out of the University of Virginia. Yeah, that cat. And CJ McCollum, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He did all this in 35 minutes. He was 3 for 8 beyond the arc. He made 1 free throw tonight. So, but the Kings were keyed in on him. You could see they wasn't letting him try to do too much. They didn't really have to run him off the line. They were just in his face the whole time, showing him his hands, showing their hands to him. So, Najee Marshall came off the bench, 23 minutes, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 1 block, 2 assists, 2 steals. And Larry Nance, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 21 minutes. Okay, he had 9 points in the first half. Matter of fact, towards the end of the first quarter, that's when he started coming in and making a difference. Jose Alvarado, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block in 23 minutes. Now, they had a total of 9 steals, the New Orleans Pelicans. 6 of those steals came from these bench players. Jose Alvarado, 2 steals. Larry Nance, 2 steals. And once again, Najee Marshall, 2 steals. So 6 of those steals came off the bench by these reserves. That's defense. That's just flat out defense. That is just flat out defense. Yes. They had 8 blocks in the game too. So they shot 51% from the floor. They were 44-85 shooting from the floor. 7-19 from 3-point land at 36%, and they made 10-13 from the free throw line. So, I'm not really gonna, recap the game as far as, what happened here, what happened there. They lost. Sacramento Kings lost. It's the off season now. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So as far as recap the game, I don't think that's really necessary. Knowing that the fact that the Kings lost 105 to 98. So no more runbacks, please. No more runbacks. And this is not over. I will be doing reporting throughout the off season. Myself, I mentioned before, the Sacramento Kings do have exit interviews that will be coming up here in the next few days. Once they get back, from the deep south, the dirty south, and then I'm pretty sure they'll start setting that up so these guys can get on and start preparing for next season. I did want to mention that the Miami Heat, they beat the Bulls 112-91 in that last play-in game. So the Miami Heat will move on and play the Boston Celtics in the best-of-7 series. So that'll be the number 8 Miami Heat going against the number 1 Boston Celtics, who also had the best record in the NBA this past season. So that was the other one. There's going to be a slate of games coming on tomorrow, and I think it's yes. So there'll be a slate of games going on tomorrow as far as the playoffs. So hope everybody enjoy that entertainment. And for the Kings, season is over. It's over. So let's see what happens, going forward. I would say it's too early to say. Let's get to the postseason, 3 straight years, and this time get into the playoffs. Get into the playoffs. No play-ins. No play-ins. I'm not going to talk about the wins or the losses right now. I'm not going to do that going into next season. And we got whole off season to go. We got another 5-6 months before we get back to that area. But at least get back and make it 3 straight postseason. 2 playoff appearances in 3 seasons. That's what I'm looking for going forward. Well, I do want to thank you for tuning in another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor. I'm the host, Tony Harvey. This is presented by Publicity Agent. I am telecasting from Southwest Sacramento, California, the Green Haven Pocket area. And I will be doing this a few more times. So thanks for tuning in. I hope, you do come back. At least hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, whatever. My only thing is this off season, to get this thing, really popping, with some improvements, so I can better facilitate the activities that goes around the Sacramento Kings organization, of course, and try to articulate this a little bit better too as well, since I'm getting a little bit more comfortable behind the mic. As you can see, we worked on the audio. That has been a problem for the last 2 or 3 weeks, but I think we got that solved. So, and plus we got a couple more microphones just in case we have any more technical difficulties. But I definitely hope you can come back and check out, within the next few days about these exit interviews, because I will be having footage of that as well. I want to thank everybody for being a Sacramento Kings fan as well as tuning in, to this podcast. But I want to thank everybody for their love of the Sacramento Kings, because going into next season, we will be a 2-sports town, a 2-sports city, when the A's move to Sacramento and start their first of 3, possibly 4 season, made permanently here in the River City. So looking for Major League Baseball. We're going to see some exciting things, coming in 2025. So, but in the meantime, once again, God bless you all. And salam, blessing to Jehovah's, well, whatever religion, that you follow and stuff. But thanks again. I'm signing out. Tony Harvey. Peace out. Love and salam.